and that cold joint in between there, I can guarantee you that thing is going to leak at some point.
We've torn off the covering, this patch for the wall crack. Now the customer complained that water was just bubbling up out of this whole area when they would get heavy rains. Let's see what's underneath here. Of all the things I've seen in basement waterproofing, this is as far-fetched and as ludicrous as anything I've ever seen. But this is never a way that you'd ever want to spend money in order to repair a basement wall crack.
The reason, let's get back to the reason why that basement started leaking in that area to begin with. And it's because the wall was not poured properly. The solid poured wall is done with a series of pours. There's concrete decks that come in and they pour the wall. And when one truck leaves, they vibrate the water, the concrete down, and then they bring another one in and they add that up. They put the concrete on top of it. One concrete that's below is settling and hardening before the top one is hard. And in between those joints, it's called a cold joint. This one here was done where the concrete was poured side by side in panels. And that cold joint in between there, I can guarantee you that thing is going to leak at some point, because it's just not the way the proper foundation, I mean, in my opinion, my humble opinion, that's not the proper way to solid pour a wall. And this is also a great example. I agree with my professional friend that this is the reason why you don't go with the cheapest bid or what seems to make sense to you based upon money. Because if anybody were to explain to you what happens, it's leaking from the outside. It's not leaking from the inside. The water needs to be stopped from the outside from getting in. It's kind of like putting that patch up on the outside is kind of like Humpty Dumpty sticking his finger in the wall when the water is coming in from the other side. So this is where you probably got an estimate. I don't want to dig up the outside and do this. Do you have another solution for it? Yeah, let's do these cheap things, you know what I mean? And that should take care of it. It doesn't work. If you have a foundation problem, it's a serious problem. And I suggest that you work with professionals that have been doing this for a long time and not go with what seems to be like the cheapest solution. So yeah, that was bad.